Good morning, guys. Welcome to a beautiful summer day in England. Today is going to be 33 or 34 degrees. And this is going to be exhausting. So let me cream up and then we'll get into it. Alright, so plan of action for today has got to be to pull the dent out, to replace the rear bumper and pull the dent out that's behind it. So I don't know if you remember when you might have noticed it in the video, but when we were replacing the door, down here is pushed in, and you can tell it's sort of folded back. If you compare it to this side, which is not folded back, it sort of slopes this way. It's hard to tell in the camera. It sort of slopes this way, whereas this side is much more pushed down, and this side actually tucks in behind. So that's clearly been pushed in a little bit. So this all needs to be pulled out. I also have a new light, so I'm hoping that the damage is only on the light, because there's a gap between the light and the door. So I'm hoping the damage is just the lights. It's just a case of taking this off, putting the new one on, and we're good. If not, then something back here needs to be pulled forwards as well. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I don't think it's damaged up here. This doesn't look bad to me. It looks pretty much the same as this side. So, and the way the door shuts against it looks fine. It doesn't look. I can't see. Actually, I don't know. I'm gonna have to investigate. It's really hard to tell. But after the failure of the ratchet strap last week, I can't with a new plan. I'm so sweaty already. By the way, it's literally 10:30 in the morning. It's already 25 degrees, and it's going to go up another 10 degrees. So I'm just going to be a ball of sweaty mess today. So I apologise in advance. But yeah, so let me show you the new plan. So what I've got here is a 4-ton manual winch. I think this is going to be better than the ratchet strap by a long way. And it was dirt cheap, so it actually might break. I got it off eBay. But this, I've never seen one of these before. And once I found out about it, it was literally the perfect thing for what I'm trying to do. So it's a big old clamp. And what this clamp does is, you tighten it, so you put the lip of the panel, like this part of the panel. So under here you've got like a lip. You put that part of the panel in this jaw here, and you tighten it down so it grips up nice. And then also once it's tightened down on there, in here this is actually coned. I'll show you. So the eye bolt is coned, so it's smaller here and bigger here, and so which means as you pull it, as you put more tension against this, that clamp's actually going to get tighter. So I mean, if this doesn't work, then I'm out of luck. I'm out of ideas other than welding something on. I haven't really got any other thoughts, but I mean, this should do the job. It's also rated to 5 ton, and if I can't pull a piece of sheet metal out with a 5-ton clamp, I think welding's the only option. So yeah, I'm very excited to give this a go, because I can't see why it won't work. if it doesn't work, then yeah, I'm down to I'd have to go out and buy a welder, and I can't weld. So before I can do anything at all, I need to take that back bumper off. There's a hole, you can see that down there, there's a hole for where parking sensor should be, and I have a new sensor, but I know that the wiring is dead behind there, so I might have to do some soldering as well. Which reminds me, I don't have my soldering iron with me, so this is gonna be weird. But we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Let's get that bumper off. Also, before I forget, at the end of this video, I need to wash my car because tomorrow is roll hard. Roll hard at the park, is it? I can't remember. So I've got a Skoda that I've been building for the last 6 years, and it needs a wash. So I might as well include that in the video. So stay tuned if you're interested to see my modified Skoda Rapid. But first of all, let's get the bumper done. The back bumper is so easy to remove. You've got 2 T20 screws on each side. And once you've got the screws out, just get your hand behind it, give it a nice strong pull. And then once you've broken your bumper enough, you'll find out there's actually a 3rd screw lurking in there that you need to remove as well. And once that's out, you can break it even more. Once you've absolutely ruined the side of the bumper, then just lean underneath and you'll see we have one. There's 3 of them, I can't find them. There's one over there as well, and that's one of these really annoying like push clips. It's not even a screw and you're just gonna fight it, so I'm not even gonna film this, but I'll get them off. And as simple as that, in 5 easy steps. Parking sensors. And voila. I can't quite believe this. The crash bar is intact. I'm amazed. I was sure that it was going to be broken like right here somewhere, but it's all one piece. I thought I was going to have to buy a new one of these, but I wasn't willing to buy it until I took the bumper off, and that I'm very glad I did that, because otherwise I would have had a spare one for no reason. But yeah, here is clearly the bad area. This around here, this is where I'm going to pull along here with my new shiny clamp, which I'm very excited about. So a little bit down here that needs to be pulled. However, bad news. I started to get an idea of how that bumper came off. I had a little look at the end of my new bumper, brand new, right? As you can see, it's still in its packaging. The packaging is not damaged on the outside. It's split. It's split all the way down there. And this just fell off. I don't even know where that's for. That's weak as well. So I'm gonna have to try and return this and get another one, which is kind of annoying because I was hoping to have the back end together today. I mean, minus painting the door, but instead now I'm gonna have to go on eBay and go through the whole process of returning it and getting a new one sent out to me, which hopefully won't take us long, because I don't know what the delivery company were doing, but they told me it was going to be delivered on the Friday, and then it didn't. It arrived at like 6 o'clock in the morning on Monday, and of course no one was awake, and so they had to go away and come back again. So whatever, but hopefully I'll get a new one soon. But for now, we need to crack on with that then. Right, now that crash bar's off, let's have a look at the good side first. So you can see it's virtually flat here. That's pushed in ever so slightly. I don't know if it's meant to be pushed in, but nothing looks weird. Like everything seems quite straight. So that it might meant to be slightly in just here. Other than that, everything is nice and square and true. This side, as you can see, it's pushed in a lot down here. This is fairly pushed in. This is pushed in. But I think we can do it. I think we can do it. I can at the very least, I can get these edges straight again. Hopefully with the clamp I've got and the winch. This, I don't know, but I'm gonna do my best. This is just a heat shield. This is literally just the exhaust heat shield. I can remove that and bang it straight again. That's not a problem. Other than that, there's a few bits of plastic left over from the bumper because I couldn't get the popper things off. But otherwise, back here it looks pretty straight. I'm not seeing any damage up here either, which would indicate that this light, hopefully it's just the light that's pushed in and not the bodywork. But yeah, I mean, I'll get set up now and let's get pulling on this. Something to note if you're getting one of these is that this nut here and this bolt here are 21mm, and you need both. You need one on each side, and most toolkits do not come with a 21mm spanner, so just bear that in mind. If you're going to buy one of these, I'd go and get a 21mm spanner as well, because you're not going to be able to do it up otherwise. Right, when you're buying something on eBay and it's really cheap, and you're like, how on earth do they make something that cheap? Well, the catch is that it's really short. This is almost full extension, and that's it. I've got what, 1.5 foot between the vans. So now I'm in this tiny little space. But anyway, I digress. It's gonna work, I hope. I'm not sure if I should be pulling on this anchor point. I feel like I shouldn't. I'm conflicted. I'm going to change that. But anyway, here's the setup. So my clamp is on the bodywork. I don't want to go like right for the corner. I don't want to pull in the middle of the dent. I want to pull it little by little and work my way along to hopefully pull all of this out. And yeah, that's hooked up to the winch. The winch is hooked up to the, it will be hooked up to the tow bar, but hooked up to my van. And then click, 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 and hopefully we'll pull it out. Right, so I'm just having a little chill out for a minute because I've kind of hit a stumbling block here. let me show you. So I turned the camera off and I thought I'll just do a couple more pulls, and literally 2 pulls and the winch is broken. So back to my question of how do they make it so cheap? Well, that's how. But fingers crossed we're going to have something that might be able to mean that I can put this back together today. But I'll show you the progress so far. So I know the edge is not straight, but that can be hammered back into position. But I want to show you the progress. This has worked so well. This was folded right under here. I mean, this was bent right back on itself, and I've pulled it probably a good 5 mil out so far. It's working really well. I'm so impressed with this clamp. Honestly, if you need to pull a piece of sheet metal like this scenario, get one of these. I've been so impressed with this thing, and I think it was about £25 on eBay. Yeah, I was nervous of it at first, but the more I used it, the more confidence inspiring it became. So fingers crossed we get the winch sorted today, and I'll be able to do more to this. But in the meantime, let's replace this light, and hopefully this door will the panel gap, there won't be a gap between the light and the panel after I've done that. Plus look at the state of it. It looks like bad. It looks bad. Right. But hey, good news. I forgot to bring the light with me. It's a half-hour drive away at my house. Oh, for those who don't know, this isn't my house. So today is quickly turning into complete shambles. Yeah, it's just gone completely downhill really. I started off so positive. So positive and keen to get to really finish this back end off. And we're just having problem after problem now. I've forgotten the light. Well, can only blame myself for that. The winch has snapped. Kind of blame myself for that. And the bumper's broken. Well, that's not my fault. It's just happened in postage. There are still a few bits that we can do because, like I said, I'm here. Might as well crack on with it. So one of the things I need to do is to sort out the parking sensor. Now, when I got the van, not only was the parking sensor missing, which I have a new one here, hopefully it works off eBay, but also the plug itself was missing off the loom, as you can see here. But as you can see on my other hand, I have bought a replacement plug. So I'm hoping I can connect this into the end of the loom and connect that to the sensor. But first things first, because of obviously how today is going so far, what I'm going to do is make sure that this actually connects into the back of the sensor. So here is, oh, my shadow, I think you can still see that. Here is the plug off the back, and I mean, I don't know why I bother. I mean, I suppose I can go and see if it fits in my new one, but I seriously doubt it. Time for some more good news, bad news. This plug will fit in the back of my new sensor. However, the sensor is completely different to all of the other ones. So you can see this one is quite thick. It comes out straight out to the back there. This one, despite being sold as a Transporter T5.1 parking sensor for the rear, this is much skinnier. The body is much skinnier, so I don't think it'll even clip in the standard base. And it's also at a 90-degree angle. the complete shambles continues. This is what it's like working on cars. For those who don't work on cars, this is exactly what it's like, right? Is success, 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 major downfall, complete overturn, overhaul, whatever you want to say about every single part you bought. I feel like I've been lucky so far. The only thing that I had wrong was that EGR pipe. Everything else has gone on and fitted and worked. But this is not meant to be. Today is not my day. Maybe it's the weather. Maybe the sun is telling me to just go and sit down somewhere, watch some TV, do nothing, telling me to have a break. Yeah, I'm speechless. I think I'm gonna go and have a little drink and sit down inside for a bit, and maybe we can fix that winch and actually pull the dent out. Got to achieve something today, anything, because all I've done so far is take the van apart more, and I haven't put anything back together. So a small amount of time has passed, and I now have this. In fact, I have a bag of them. This is the last ditch effort to use this winch. So my plan is I'm gonna put a bit of electrical tape around it, stop it fraying, and I'm gonna cut it off at the cleat, just below the cleat, and then loop it and clamp it in. I know I've already complained about this winch being quite short, so I'm making it shorter. But yeah, like I said, last ditch effort. If this doesn't work, then I'm gonna have to go out and buy a new winch, one that's better made. Alright then guys, I hope that showed up on the video as well as it did in person, because it was just pulling big old bits of dent out, and it looks, I know it still looks a bit of a mess, but it looks so much better now than it did. However, I got a cool time on pulling this dent out. But to give you an idea of how far we've come and what the tiny bit we've still got to go was when this was all pushed in here. This was like a long way back. This corner here was virtually folded back on itself. Don't if you remember earlier in the video. So there was a huge gap between the door and the seal. Well, I'll show you what the gap is now. Just see, like, I mean, the gap, actually the camera makes it look way worse than it is, but it is tiny, maybe 2 mil. That's it. So I'm gonna have to have another go at pulling that out. And then I did start down here. Don't worry, the metal isn't split. These are 2 different pieces of metal. Give you a better idea over here. So you got the back piece of metal and the front piece of metal, and then there's a bead of sealant that runs across the pair of them to seal them together. So that is what I want this side to look like. But first of all, I need to pull this bottom section straight, which I started here. I need to do it here and all the way along, and then I will also pull the top one straight. And I've started getting the puller in here and pulling this section out. I might have to drill a hole here and pull that out and then plug it after. But yeah, I reckon a good 3, maybe 4 hours more on this, and this should be looking pretty good, I reckon. And obviously do a bit more to the seal edge as well, make sure that's sealed against the door. Don't want to get water ingress. So yeah, so next time we do more dent pulling, we'll get that new light on. I mean, I've got it. And then whenever they turn up, we will have to fit the new bumper and the new parking sensor. And that should be the rear end done, other than paint. paint will be the last thing to do. So yeah, now we need to move on because I've got a show tomorrow and it is filthy. It hasn't been cleaned since the start of June. So let me get all this tidied up and get everything out of the way and get the jet wash out, because there's no hosepipe ban here just yet. It's gonna happen soon, but it hasn't happened yet. My house has a water ban, a hosepipe ban, but not here, so I'm gonna make the most of it. And this is my 2014 Skoda Rapid. It's a sport edition, which does not mean that it's fast. It means that it came with black wing mirrors and a tiny little black spoiler. But other than that, I have done all the work to it. So I've got custom headlights, front splitter, custom fog lights. Yeah, not much else, to be honest. I haven't done much else. I've had the exhaust done, rear diffuser. Yeah, and I can't think of anything else that I've done to this car. Oh yeah, the wide arch. So I once saw, I think, an Audi A1 with bolt-on wide arch like this, and I absolutely fell in love with it. And I said to myself, one day I'm going to do that to my car. And I went to Culture Shock in Newcastle, and on the way home I hit a pretty big speed bump and absolutely demolished my rear arches. So I was like, right, I either get these repaired or I cut them off and put over arches on, and that's what I did. So that's a short story about my Skoda Rapid. I'm going to try and film some of the cleaning process, but at the same time my camera battery is very low, so I don't think I'm going to be able to get much footage. So what I might do is like tiny short little clips, just as I'm washing it. So the Skoda's done. I honestly, you'll see in the video, I started filming it, and I quickly realised that I didn't have time to film it. The car was drying so quickly, and it was leaving watermarks everywhere that I was just rushing the whole time. But at least it's done. But there'll be more videos on this car in the future. So the headlights, I need to split them apart and do some work to them, and I'm sure there'll be other little bits and bobs. But it won't feature very often, this car. But when it does, it'll be on the channel. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. It's been very hot and hard for me. So hope you're staying cool, and I'll see you in a week. Peace.